by Joseph Connellan. What does SDA look like in my community? By Joseph Connellan. Warning: this report was compiled with AI assistance. AI can and does make things up and get things wrong. This analysis also relies on human interpretation that can add further errors. This data is best tested against local knowledge. Ballarat NDIS Quarterly SDA Supplement Q2 2025/26 Data as at 31st December 2025. Hello and welcome to a discussion of Specialist Disability Accommodation, or SDA, in Ballarat. This data is drawn from the NDIS quarterly reports and is current as of 31st December 2025. Things don't move very quickly in the SDA world, so this should be current enough. The NDIS only publishes this quarterly data in ABS statistical areas, or SAs. I am using SA3 because it mostly equates to local government areas, which to me represents a cohesive community. The data is presented in two columns. A blue column on the left for people, that is the demand side, and a mixture of colours on the right for places, meaning beds in SDA. That is the supply side of the equation. Demand, the people. Ballarat has 307 people with SDA funding in this region. Of those, 264, 86%, are currently living in SDA, shown in the dark blue portion of the bar. The lighter blue section above represents the 43 people, 14%, who have SDA funding but are not yet living in SDA. This is an important group. They have been assessed as needing specialist accommodation, but for whatever reason have not yet made that move. It is worth asking, where are they living right now and what is stopping them from accessing their funded housing? Supply, the places. Ballarat has 484 places across all SDA dwellings. The colours in the right-hand bar tell us how those places are distributed by number of residents per dwelling. 96 single resident, 166 two resident, 93 resident, 24 resident, 105 resident, 12 six or more resident. The green tones represent the smaller, more independent options. 1 and 2 resident dwellings, 262 places combined. These are often newer builds, though single and 2 resident settings can carry funding challenges depending on how overnight support is structured. Dark green represents the 93 resident dwellings, a mid-size model that can offer a balance between support efficiency and resident choice. The yellow and amber tones are the 4 and 5 resident group houses, 120 places combined. With 100 places in 5 resident dwellings alone, this is a significant portion of the local stock. These are the traditional group home model. They raise real questions about long-term viability and whether residents have genuine choice and control over their lives. The red band, 12 places, represents dwellings housing 6 or more residents. These are legacy or institutional settings. Their long-term future under the NDIS is uncertain, and communities should be asking hard questions about them. Vacancy note: Ballarat has 264 participants currently in SDA against 484 registered SDA places. An apparent occupancy rate of 55%. Moderate. With 220 places, 45%, apparently unoccupied, there appears to be some available capacity. Discussion questions. The data. Does this data accurately reflect SDA in Ballarat, or are there gaps and errors worth noting? What other data could be added to give a fuller picture of local SDA? Participants with SDA funding. Why are 43 participants in Ballarat not currently using their SDA funding? What are the barriers? Where are those participants living right now, and is that arrangement appropriate for their needs? Stakeholders. Which organisations provide SDA in Ballarat? Which organisations provide supported independent living, SIL, in this community? Do SIL providers in Ballarat run or use their own SIL houses? And what does that mean for participant choice? SDA dwellings. How much of the existing stock in Ballarat is basic rated, And what happens to residents and providers when that funding winds down? Are the 12 places in 6+ resident dwellings old institutions or specialist units, and are they likely to continue to be used under the NDIS? With 120 places in 4 and 5 resident group houses, what is likely to happen to this stock as the NDIS matures? How much of the SDA in Ballarat is owned by state government, and what are they likely to do with it? SDA development. Who are the SDA developers active in Ballarat, and what are they building? What SDA developments are currently underway or planned in this community? Feedback. Joseph Connellan would love to hear whether this data is accurate and useful for your community.